Hi everyone, this is Emily again, coming back with more advice for you on dating. Now this particular episode I think is really beneficial to people that are new to online dating, to females that are new to online dating. The only reason this is aimed towards females and not males is because I am female and I don't have any experience being a guy on a dating site. So why don't you just take a listen? And like I said before, on my last episode, everything I think doesn't necessarily mean it's right. It's just things I've learned over time. And that's what I'm here for, just to help. So, to start off, I've been online dating since 2013. On and off, of course. When one of my friends actually told me to get Tinder. I got Tinder, had met up with a few guys here and there, and then I found that they were really, really just sex driven, like more so than normal. So I got an OkCupid, and I've been on OkCupid on and off, A-lister, whatever, for a few years now too. First thing I've learned from these dating sites, and it doesn't matter which one it is, all of them essentially are the same. The reason that Tinder might be the best is because if you go on that site knowing what guys are specifically after, it helps you to kind of wean them out right away between the good and bad. Whereas OkCupid, which is more a love-looking site, isn't always truthful, because that sometimes can mean that the guy is just trying extra hard to get in your pants. And he's probably on Tinder anyways, so there you go. So I kind of concocted a little list of things that I wish I had known when I started dating. Would have saved myself some heartbreak, and also saved myself some time, really, because meeting people is a process. So anyways, this is just for the girls, like I said, but the first thing I put on my list is, for the majority, most men are on these sites for sex. No matter what they say, I think really deep down, they're on there for that. Essentially, these websites are a game. It's a game where you swipe right or swipe left, and if you can get in the girl's pants, then, fine. If you can't, then you move on to the next. So that's that. But as long as you know that, it can be changed. You can meet some guy and he might be on there just for one thing, but you can totally change his mind just by blowing him away with your personality, and which is what you want to do anyways. So just be cautious deep down that if a guy is really, really saying that he wants a relationship and that's why he's on there and he's tired of this and that, he might not be even a good guy to date. He's probably crazy or just really good at lying. Who knows? The second thing, and this might be kind of funny to you, is, and my mom actually said this to me, never trust a guy who loves cats. Now, I didn't get it at first, but now I kind of do, because I work as a vet tech in a vet hospital, and I have 2 large dogs and a cat. And I can tell you that the personality difference between dogs and cats are extremely different. Cats are self-reliant. Cats don't really even love humans. I mean, maybe they do, but essentially they're just hanging out with us because we feed them and give them a place to stay. So that's the difference. They take care of themselves. They're not needy. You don't need to let them outside. They use a litter box. Now, dogs, on the other hand, which are my favorite, are just completely full of love. But they need things. They need walks. They need to be let out. They're annoying at times. They'll crawl all over you or jump on you or who knows. But that's why my mom says never trust a guy who likes cats. Basically, and this is how I look at it, a guy that likes cats is basically saying he likes to have something around but doesn't want to take care of it. Now, I can't tell you how many times I have met guys online dating who have stopped talking to me because of my dogs. Now, they're a big responsibility. I have 2 large puppies, and even though I'm trying to raise them right, they are a responsibility. Any guy that's walking into your life and saying, I can't hang out with you because your dogs are too obnoxious, or you should just have cats. What kind of guy is that going to be down the line? Like, what are you going to do when I have a baby? It's cute on the outside, but that thing needs to shit and piss and be cleaned up, and, So, any guy that likes cats probably isn't that great, unless, you're into that kind of thing, I guess. Who knows? Third thing on my list would be you should initiate the conversation first. It helps weed out the guys who message every girl. And this is very true because if you are a girl on a dating site, you know that we get a phenomenal amount of messages because it's just how it works. I mean, honestly, the only relationships, like the relationships I've ever had on these sites, have been me starting the conversation first because I know that that guy probably wouldn't have messaged me first to begin with. And that already helps weed out the fact that, okay, I know that you weren't just coming after me and had it all planned out. So that's just something to keep in mind. Four, and this is funny, but it really is a good thing. For anyone who has a smartphone, which is probably everyone these days, download the White Pages app. You need to know who you're letting into your life. Now, if you pay like the $3.99 a month for the premium on the White Pages app, it gives you a lot of information. All you have to do when that person texts you for the first time is take their number, push it in, you'll know who they are. And that's good because I ran into a situation where I met up with somebody who said they were somebody completely different. Thank God for the White Pages app. Put them in. They had a different name. Looked them up. They had a whole entire criminal record that they didn't tell me about. And it was something very serious, too. Possibly dangerous. So just know who you're letting into your life. And if people say that's creepy that you're doing it, I think it's more creepy to hang out with somebody and know nothing about them and let them near, hey, your pets or maybe your children or even your friends or yourself. It's dangerous. So just be a little crazy, but do your research. Also, number 5, it's nice to have attractive pictures. We all look good with filters, we know that, but make sure they look like you 100%. When you meet up with somebody, you're not going to have the black and white filter on your face. It's going to be you in the flesh. So maybe post some of the really good ones, but also post ones that really just look like you and what you're doing in your daily life. If you're hanging out with your friends, or even if you think you look bad, it doesn't matter because that's what you look like and that's what they're going to see. And you don't want any surprises dropped. And it goes both ways. I've met up with guys who have posted really good pictures of themselves and look nothing like that. And it's really deceiving to me. Already, right when I see that, it's like, you should have just been honest because I'm not shallow at all, but they weren't. And then now, all of a sudden, he comes here and I'm just thinking, wow, you're a liar because that looks nothing like you, and you know that. So that's something on there. Number 6, any guy that puts in his profile loves to travel or travels a lot for work, he's fly-by-night guy, don't even bother messaging him back. That's the best and easiest way to say, I'm just trying to hang out with you and then never talk to you again. He's probably married, to be honest with you. So that's just somebody I automatically won't talk to. Number 7, strangers lie, and this is scientific. Strangers lie 10 times within the first conversation they have with another stranger. Far-stretched truth. So remember that if you're talking to somebody and if they're saying something, it's probably a far-stretched truth. And I've done it. I mean, already I said on the podcast I'm a vet tech. I'm not. I'm a vet assistant. That was me making myself look better. So just remember if they're making themselves look better, make sure they sound pretty good to begin with. Number 8, you set the stage for the date, avoids ability to have the date pre-planned. A guy that's been online dating for a while, he might have a bar in mind, he might have a place in mind, but that's because that's what he knows, that's what he's done. You set the stage. Now, to me, I always invite guys over, and it's probably not safe, but I know that I have 2 large dogs, and any guy that were to ever hurt me wouldn't stand a chance. So I do have that safety net that a lot of people might not have. But if you set the stage, I mean, you could set something like he can't plan it out. So you're taking advantage of the situation. You can see how he acts when it's not staged. So always make sure that you're the one setting the date. And 9, this is probably the best one and it's the most easy. Be honest. Do not lie to people. Do not say you do something that you don't do because chances are the one guy you lie to, you'll end up dating and then you'll have to explain to him why you're none of those things that you said you were or that you are these things that you didn't tell him about. Lying can go in 2 different directions. Withholding the truth is lying too. So if you have some real issues, if say you're a big drinker or say you have dogs or say, I don't know, your mom's a serial killer. Keep that thing, like, I know you don't want to always tell people the worst things about yourself when you're first talking to them, but they might need to know that because that could really set the stage for your whole relationship. You might not want a relationship with somebody like that. And you might not either, so just be 100% yourself, within limits, of course. Now, 10, don't get hung up on one guy. Chances are he's already moved on to the next. And that's a mistake I made a lot in the beginning. I would talk to guys on the site and then I would feel a connection and then I'd get really annoyed when they would stop messaging me. But you have to understand, for people that have been on the site forever, if they don't feel interested in you in one day, they're already moved on to the next. That's just how it is. So don't get hung up on one person. Just learn from what you talked about with that person or from the traits you noticed with them. It's the best way to do it. All right, 11. And this goes back to my dogs. If you own dogs and your dog doesn't like the guy, he needs to leave immediately. And this might sound funny, but I was actually engaged to somebody I met in high school. And my dog, my one dog, despised him. And I mean despised in a way that you wouldn't really know. Um, both of my dogs are really friendly, so it was never like a vicious attack type thing, but it was a very protective thing. So anytime this guy sat next to me, my dog, Bane, that's his name, would jump right in the middle or slowly kind of weed him off or lick his face so excessively to the point where it's like he's trying to get the guy to go away. Dogs have a sixth sense that humans do not. They live purely on instinct. So if your dog doesn't like somebody, there's no fucking reason for that, man. Like, and sure enough, all the guys that my dog has hated have been really bad people. Really bad people. So if your dog doesn't like them, you probably shouldn't either. Um, Now last, I mean, this list could go on forever, but I'm not trying to bore you here. I'm just trying to give you some basics. Number 12, no one really knows why we're online dating. It's a game. And it is. They, that's how they advertise these apps. That's how they do everything. It's a game. So you can't really attack people if they're on there for sex. I mean, maybe we are too. We don't know. We're just kind of testing the waters. It's really hard because we're trying to figure out people that we've never met before. So we're trying to figure them out through just their words and not even being able to see them or read their body language or anything. So if a guy is on that site and he just wants sex or something, as long as he's polite about it, don't automatically shut him out. He might just have had it with crazy girls. And let's be honest, as a girl, I can tell you we're all crazy. We are. So, everybody's really on that site because it's the game factor. Um, but anyways, this list could go on for a while. But for anybody new to online dating, I hope that you learn from this and know that it is just the way it is, and here's how you can avoid meeting bad people and how you can potentially meet good people. So, good luck, everybody, and thank you for listening.